Welcome to the Screen and Streams podcast, where I'll be talking about all things TV and film. My name's Kay, the person behind the YouTube channel, The Purple Teapot, and the website, thepurpleteapot.com. And today I'm joined by my good friend and former co-host of Afternoon Tea with the Damn Fam, Jade. Would you like to say hello, shout yourself out? Yeah.
Hi everybody, it's good to be speaking to you again, Kay. All these months later.
Yeah, it's been 9 months. It's been 9 long months, honestly. Honestly, I really should talk to you outside of just podcasting. We text, but yeah. I was thinking we'd each week would get to talk and just ask each other about each other's week and stuff like that. And we don't get to do that. But I do have my icebreaker, which I've told you about, and the icebreaker is like a question. So if there was one show storyline that you would change, what show would it be, and how would you change it? So mine would be from All American. I don't know if you know about All American. I love All American.
Yeah.
It would be Billy Baker. How he died. I think that what happened. So what happened was he, in the middle of the last season, he died falling off a cliff on a really slow moving bus. He could have got off the bus. It was a bit like, Titanic. It was like, could he have stayed on the plank? It was a bit like that. He could have got off that bus if he ran, but he didn't. And I would have changed because Tay Diggs wanted to leave. I would have changed that by having I don't know, like a heart attack. I think a heart attack would have been better, or uh, and a medical emergency would have been better. Like, those moments where, or even like an actual car crash. There were so many moments, and I'm just like just the fact that it was slow. The bus had been on the cliff for about 2 hours, and about 30 people had got off the bus, but it was that one. But Billy decided to get on the bus because somebody was still on there, and it was that one person got up and left off the bus, and then the bus decided to drop, and we didn't even get to see the bus drop either. It was a bit of a low production thing, but I feel like it just could have been better. Those moments. Do you have a show that you would improve upon?
I think obviously my number one go-to would be Chopin's storyline. I don't think I've ever gotten over like my bitterness about that.
Yeah, I don't think
But
anybody has.
I don't think we ever should.
No, we shouldn't.
But another thing that just popped into my head. I actually haven't watched the show in such a long time. But it actually is a K-drama.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Crash Landing on You. There is a storyline of the thing about K dramas is that they have this way to sort of make you fall in love with the second lead couple as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially what had happened was the people that became the second lead couple were actually the partners of the first lead couple, like the partners they were supposed to get married to and whatever.
Okay.
But then the first leads they end up together, and then the second leads they were starting to like have a thing, and then as they were, but essentially what was happening with these second leads when they were with like the main characters, they were never like actually in love with them,
Mm-hmm.
but in the way that they obviously were in love with each other. And then in the essentially like the second lead couple, the guy, he gets killed, and it was just like like even all these years later, I think I watched the show in like 2020, like all these years
Mm-hmm.
later, like if I just see like a scene of that, it just makes me so angry, because it's just like, so basically, like for context, the setting of the show is between North and South Korea. So essentially the main character
Okay.
goes, she like basically like lands in South Korea,
You,
in North Korea. She's from
yeah.
South
I
Korea. She
remember
lands in
that.
North
I
Korea.
remember you
Yeah.
recommending that
And
to me. Yeah.
then so basically like the from the second lead, the female lead, she is from North Korea, and then this guy is from South Korea, and then in like the conflict, he gets killed, and it's like
Oh no.
no, like we really
Oh
wanted them
no.
to end up together because they were so
Uh,
cute together. So it was just like no, like it is like the one sort of, and a lot of K drama
yeah.
endings, I'm sort of like this doesn't make sense at all. But
Yeah.
I think that was sort of like no man, like that was super unnecessary. So I definitely
Mm.
changed that, and
How would you change it? Do you know how you change it?
definitely like have him not die, like because it was such a weird like death. Also, like
Yeah.
somebody just came out and then they like shot him, and it
Was it
was
like,
like
oh, I wanted to leave the show kind of death, or was
probably,
it?
but it was also because obviously with K dramas there's only 16 episodes, so the show needs to come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to sort of wrap up storylines, but really they could have just wrapped up storylines with either him staying in North Korea for her or her
Mm-hmm.
going to South Korea for him, you know, in the way that the main leads did, instead of just, you know, killing him off for no reason at all.
Yeah. That's what. That's the worst thing is when you fall in love with a character and then they die, or they leave the show. Like it's one of the worst pains.
It
Like
is. It definitely
for
is.
a TV show, like one of the like yeah. Sometimes it's like but then when there's a character that you just love, or you love the couple they're in, and then one of them dies, you just like you just feel like it feels like you were part of the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So now that we've talked about K dramas, I feel like we should talk about Freema. Just big her up because that's what we always did on afternoon tea, and I feel like
Yeah.
yeah,
But like she
like
got all these like really good reviews
yeah, from a show, and
from the show.
I'm so vexed that I didn't go to see it. I really hope that I get to meet Freema. Really hope that I get to meet Freema eventually
Yeah, like
while I'm
casually,
down there. Pardon?
like casually running into her.
Yeah, I want to casually run into Freema on the street. Oh my days, did you like Dreamland, or was it
Hmm.
too British for you? Because I think lots of people were like, if I had, I think a lot of the people that we know from from Twitter, when it came out, they were like, it's good, but I don't understand the comedy.
No, it was
Yeah.
good. Like I think the accents at time was kind of like maybe I need like subtitles for this. But no, it was good. Like
Yeah.
I relatively
Hmm.
understood it. But like there has to be a
Yeah.
season two. Like there's no way there cannot
Oh,
be a season two when it ended like that. Like
yeah. There has to
no.
be. But the thing is, with British TV shows, the way that it works is like, everything's slow. So there could be another, especially if the channel it's on, because it's a Sky channel and not that many people watch it. There could be a season two in like 2 years. But I hope there is, because all of that it was so fun to watch Freema in a comedy. She's so dramatic in the best way, like the way that she was acting when the two of them were having like
Mm,
contractions and that the show. And
mm,
then even when we got it was nice to see the contrast, because we've seen the drama, like her getting to like the sad bit, and we got to see that in this show, but getting the
mm.
contrast of both together in the same show was like it was so good. It was so good. And then her nan, the woman who played her nan is literally
Yeah.
one of my favorite comedic actresses. I think her name's Sheila, I can't remember her last name, and she's like a legend in like comedy acting in the UK. And then there was
Yeah, it
Lily
was really
Allen, and yeah,
like it was an excellent show. Like they really should have, you know, made it a
yeah,
little bit more available. Um,
yeah. It's because of
particularly
this.
knowing that they were going to have all these like big stars on it.
Yeah. You know what it was? It's because it was I said I said this before. If it was on another channel, it would. If it was on the BBC or even ITV, it probably would have done a lot better. But I think this was Freema's first comedic thing. I hope
Mm.
to see her in more comedy because she's really good. I like the best thing about like British comedy. Um, I think is when the best British comedy is when there's like that line where there's like where the drama meets comedy and it's just
Mm.
perfect. Like I don't know if you've watched Chewing Gum. Love Chewing Gum. I think there was some serious bits in it, and there's loads of different ones, but that was, I love the British comedies was that's that's the thing that I grew up on, and just
Mm.
getting the film that was yeah. I'm just so happy. I need to rewatch it. Sky took out so much money from me. I didn't realize I subscribed I paid the subscription for about 6 months just to watch for a month because it was taking money out of my account. And I wonder I've got such a low, why I haven't got any money. And it's because the money's coming out. But it's okay. In my head, it went all to Freema.
But they really should have
Yeah,
like, like what I really like is how she's sort of like expanding, and she's trying,
yeah.
like being home is sort of allowing her to try all these new things.
Mhm.
Like going back to theater, doing this, like I feel like she's sort of just like expanding her, her wings with like
Yeah.
trying different things and being like super excellent in it. It's not like she's just trying
Mhm.
it and like she's just like average in it. She's really good
Yeah.
in it
Yeah.
as
Really good.
well. But like I think this is what she needed. Like she needed to be back
Mhm.
home and she needed to be
Yes.
back in her element.
Yeah.
No, she's been in that mess for far too long.
Yeah. I
Um,
think New Amsterdam was the show that was made her see the light. She's like, I've been here too long. I need to do. I need to leave.
but I also think that obviously like the writers and things of New Amsterdam is so different from Sense 8. Um,
Mhm.
where, I feel like she has a closer relationship with the
Yeah.
writers of Sense 8 um,
Yeah.
than she actually had with these people that we will
Mhm.
not mention. Um,
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think there was also an element of they were better writers as well. I think they knew the direction that their show was going, and they didn't need their daughter to help them. Like in all the shows that she's been in before, like it was like I think it got to the point for Freema where she was like, "This is not Freema quality. This is not a Freema quality show. I need to leave." Like unless you're going to give me the quality that I'm used to, so that I can perform in the way that I need to, and get you other seasons, I'm out of here. And Ryan was like,
no,
"I'm behind you." I
yeah,
feel like
like
if
that.
Ryan said,
Really,
"Oh, I want to do this for longer," NBC would have been like, "Okay, have another season."
yeah.
But
Like they keep
no,
trying to tell us like it was NBC. No, it was their decision to no longer be on the show.
yeah,
Like there's no way that NBC wouldn't have given it to them if that's what they wanted. Where
like Ryan's their golden child.
when they've literally renewed the show for 3 whole seasons. Like there's no way that NBC wouldn't have given it, but they wouldn't have given it to them without Freema. Like I'm convinced. Because they
Yeah,
knew that on their own that cast can't do what she
can't do
does.
nothing. I didn't even bother watching. I don't think I've watched a full episode of the last season. Not going to
But,
either. I just saw a clip of Floyd and what's her name, Miss Miss Addicted to Drugs, Addicted to Love. Can't
Janet.
remember her name.
Well, what's
Yeah,
his
what's the character's name?
I
Lauren.
genuinely forgot these people's names.
Lauren. Look, I'm still reminded ever so often of Ella. Like people will still be like, oh, remember your hatred for Ella on the timeline? I'm like, yeah. And to be fair, yeah, I was a bit mad back then. You know, I checked my tweets about my New Amsterdam tweets. Oh my days, I was very unhinged, but like in the best way. But that was madness. The way that I used to act was mad.
But at least she's not remotely
Pardon?
as bad as everyone else turned out to be. Like
Like Floyd. I mean, not Floyd. Iggy. See, I can't remember.
I
He'll
don't
forever be
remember their name.
Martin's husband.
Didn't they get married again? Also on the
Yes, they
rooftop, I
did.
think.
That's what I heard. They got their
I also just
they
saw
got
a
their rooftop
picture.
wedding. They
That
got
shop
their
was
rooftop wedding.
supposed to get. My
Yeah, I'm
gosh.
actually kind of glad that they didn't get that they didn't have a rooftop wedding because I
But
was
you
like
know how we
when they
felt about
said
it.
the initial thought when they said, oh, it's gonna be a rooftop wedding, I was like,
Yeah, I remember we
mm-mm.
were like, no man,
We
no.
want like
They can
something
get
proper.
engaged. They can get engaged on the rooftop, but that's about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no. Give her her
Yeah.
castle. Like she deserves it after what you put her through.
Oh my gosh, Sarah. Did Sarah get her redemption arc? I can't even remember. I think she did.
I don't
She
know.
didn't deserve it. I don't think she deserved it, but everybody got a redemption arc except for Freema. I mean, for Helen and hmm. Like even they even tried to discredit Freema in
Yeah,
in their last season when Wilder was like she did this but she wasn't meant to and A B C D E F G. She was just
it
trying to
was
save
something.
that man.
Yeah, it was something with Max. Something that she did. Oh, it was. Remember what it was? It was that that thing was, what was that Dr. Castro?
Oh yes,
Her
our
trial.
favorite villain.
He never told Max about it, but it was literally to save your life. Like that's why
Exactly.
she didn't tell you about it. And
Exactly.
yeah, he did the whole the whole he was almost gonna kiss her thing when she wanted to tell him about it. The day that Castro
Mhm.
left. So actually, it's
Oh
your
yes,
fault.
everything that I do for
Yes,
you. Oh,
yes.
that was poetry. That was.
I remember watching it on the bus,
Yeah.
like to uni. I was literally like on the bus, and then because obviously I
Mhm.
didn't get to watch the episode yet, so I was like scrolling through Twitter and
Mhm.
finding the scene and like literally losing it on the bus to uni, and then having to wait the
Mhm.
whole day to watch the episode to see what it was about. But it
But
was
then
good.
COVID
Like,
happened. Didn't
yeah,
COVID happen? And then there was one episode, and then COVID happened, and then they didn't talk about, and we didn't they didn't get to talk about it for like that. We
no,
lived
but
on that scene for a year.
yeah, they left. But even in the next episode, they just moved on because the next episode was the gala episode, isn't it?
No, that was a different season. That was Everything I Do was season two, and season three was the season three. Everything happened with what's the man's name?
Oh,
Who she
Cassian.
probably should, yeah, Cassian, who she probably should have ended up with. Um, yeah, they had that. It was like eight. Was it like eight episodes before? I think that was like. I
But
feel like that was episode eight or something.
Cassian joined at the end of episode at the end of season 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh
After
yeah,
that scene
but
happened.
it wasn't the gala though,
No,
was
it
it?
was after that. It was the last episode,
I'm confused
second
now.
last or last episode of season
Mhm.
2. Cassian joined,
Mhm.
and because their thing started like for the
Yep.
for the whole season 3, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
so.
I remember. Yeah, because I remember
Yes, yes.
in was it episode three? No, either the last episode or the first episode in season three. They had that clip of Helen and I think it was the end of season two actually of Helen and Cassian meeting.
Yes, holding hands. Yeah, because then they went out.
Were they holding hands?
Yeah, remember that Helen sent the
I
message
just
to Matt
remember that scene.
to
Yes.
say
Oh my
that she
days.
can't make it and she's with him, and that's also when he breaks up with Alice. That's the last episode of season 2.
Oh, how poetic. I forgot about Alice and that dusty ass floor. Oh my days. Alice, man. I hope she found someone nice. That's what I think. When I think of some of these characters, like,
No, yeah, they deserve better.
yeah. Even looking back, I think Georgia deserved better. Georgia definitely deserved better.
Like her
Like,
parents were right. She really should have left him.
yeah, yes. That
No,
man
her
was
parents.
unhinged. How do you move at the end of it? How do you move all the way to Europe and don't end up in the UK in London with the woman you was gonna marry? He doesn't fly out or nothing to go see Wagwan. Like,
Makes zero sense. Like you were going to follow her to like what Timbuktu, but you couldn't follow
yeah,
her to like
yeah, on a 6 hour flight to London. That's where you draw the line. It
when
was
you
just lazy writing.
when she sat on a 6 hour middle seat flight to come and see
Mhm.
you at the beginning of season what was it? End of season 3.
Mhm. And then all he did was disappoint her once she saw him after he was like, I
Exactly.
can't wait to see you. I can't wait to be
And
with
then she
you
got
in
you
all the
talked
ways.
about that ring. Like what? Like she was
That
nice enough
ring
to tell
really irritates me. Oh, I
she was
lost my ring. Girl, you don't even
after she
think. I was
told
like, I think you should have asked him. When was the last time you thought about Georgia as your wife and not the mother of your child? That's what um his work mum should have asked him. What was her name? Brantley. Karen Brantley. That's what should have really happened.
oh, it was awful. Like it was really bad. The what they put
Yeah.
Helen to. And then don't even get me started on season 4 and what they did in season 4. Like 2 seconds of happiness. Literally that's all they got.
I'm still not. I feel like I have the right to still not be over the way they portrayed England.
Yeah, because what was Max doing? And what were these British people doing trusting this weird American man who says he's a doctor
Yeah.
to
You,
just come
it
in and
tells.
do operations on you?
Mm-hmm. Because if that happened in real life, I'm promising you, a taxi driver would 100% tell him to f off, like, and like give him even more profanity. Like, they'd literally like call him every name under the sun. An American trying to perform surgery on you? Absolutely not. There would have been. Uh, at least we got a little scene with Georgia and not Georgia, Luna and Helen.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Also, all of
Let's
this
not even
makes
talk
me
about Luna. If Akona was here right now, she'd be so pissed. But, yeah, remember how irritated she'd get at Luna. Honestly, if you looking back, she was right though, because why was there no scenes with Helen and Luna? Like we saw her with Sandra. Apparently, there was the whole scenes with her and Wilder.
Yeah,
Like
wasn't she
Wilder
sitting
playing
in her lap?
stepmom.
She was like holding her and
Mm-mm.
she was sitting in her lap and everything. All Helen got was a hug, and that was literally because we bullied them into
Hmm.
it. Like we wouldn't
Yeah,
even have
into
gotten
fan
back.
service.
We literally
Like,
bullied them into it.
hmm like I'm not even 100% here for like like fan service, but it wasn't even fan service. It made sense if Helen's like, oh, sorry, I'm going to be a mother to this little girl. Like, why? Why why do they not have scenes? Like,
Yeah,
honestly, it's just like they're gonna rue the day. But the thing is, you know what gives me satisfaction? The fact that the two head showrunners, they're not seeing the light of day. They're not seeing the light of day, with a TV show. there's too many more talented people than there's too many great talented people for that to happen. Like, you know what NBC have done? They were like, oh no, we can't have any medical dramas anymore. But they went and
Oh,
commissioned
wow.
another medical drama.
Oh, wow.
So clearly it's not that. They were like there were so many excuses, but at the end of the day that show got cancelled because it was crap.
Definitely.
Cause it got to the point where the writing was too ridiculous, where it didn't make sense, where it wasn't cohesive. If your storyline's not cohesive, like it does, like what's the point?
But like
Like
we've been saying this since like season one. Like our criticism towards them since season one has been, these stories, they don't make sense. Okay, maybe not season
yeah,
one, maybe season two.
season
And
2.
season one was kind of like it was flowing, and
Mhm.
people from previous episodes were being brought in to make the storyline flow.
Mhm.
But since season two, our criticism towards them has always been this does not make sense. It's like
Yeah.
you guys are writing your own episodes by yourselves without ever coming together.
Yeah, that's
And
season 4.
I said,
Season 4 was the biggest show of we're not as writers we're not talking. We're not talking about each
we're
episode.
probably not talking to each other, like at all.
No, not at all. Oh my
No,
days. What a show.
that time towards Helen, like the beef between them or the animosity they had towards her was so obvious. Like they literally
Yeah.
couldn't.
They couldn't even hide it. And that's something, the only person who could hide it is Jocko. And that's because he's an alright actor. The rest of them,
Mm-mm.
especially Janet. Janet was not good enough actor to, like, even in the scene. Like there were certain scenes, there were certain scenes that Janet did that just proved that she wasn't a great actor. The scenes, the scenes with Layla and the scenes with Helen just proved that she wasn't a good actress because you could tell she was uncomfortable being having to kiss a woman and being in a relationship with a woman in
That
and
like
then
clearly want to do
and
that.
then she was also uncomfortable with her scenes when Freema was in there. So like, just because there was animosity there.
And it has been weird since
Mhm.
video.
Yeah.
What was it, 2019? The
Yeah. So they only
yeah.
had one season of happiness.
No, like
They
it's
had one
it,
season of togetherness, and then it just was, and it
and
didn't even make any sense. Because to be fair, the only person they really should have been, I'll always say this, I'll scream this from the rooftops, the only person they really should have been had a problem with was Ryan, but
yeah,
you know,
because he's not keeping it in his pants. Like
mm-hmm,
you be mad at her, this single
uh-huh.
woman who's allowed to do whatever
Yeah,
she.
and not the man who's in a relationship or seemingly is in a relationship with your friend. Like, sorry, if what's it called? Nah, sorry, if my friend's man cheats, you know who I'm going to? Who I'm gonna cuss out? The man, not the girl that he's cheated with. Who's to say that she even knew that he was in a relationship? And that's the whole, like, misogyny at its best, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like, honestly, it's a mess. Absolute mess. Freema deserved better.
I'm glad she got. I'm
Yeah,
glad that
she
she
did. She did.
and she makes such
And
good, you know,
hmm?
like cast. She makes such good friends, like with the
Mm-hmm.
cast everywhere that she goes. So it's like
Yeah.
you don't like
That's
her.
why
It's
it's
probably
strange.
like it's
Yeah.
probably a
It's
you
like,
thing if you don't.
that's a them problem. Yeah.
And even with the fans that got to meet her,
Oh yeah,
like
everyone was like, she's
the way she
lovely.
was, the way that she was with them, and like their like stories about
Mm-hmm.
what it was like meeting her.
Sorry, but if I was female, I wouldn't have been so nice. I'm not gonna lie. With the crazies the New Amsterdam crazies, I know they're probably listening to this now, yeah. But back in the day, when everything was happening in like 2020, 2021, oh my days! I don't think but you know
Yeah,
something, the celebrity life isn't for me. So So thankfully, the celebrity life isn't for me. But yeah, she's a saint. She really is.
She really
She's
is.
lovely. I'm just glad that I'm not in that space anymore, and I do hope to meet Freema one day. I hope to be like the crazies and get to meet Freema and just enjoy her presence. Oh, if you look in the mood for a British comedy, this isn't ads, but I like my TV shows. There's a show on Apple TV Plus. I'm sure you can watch it elsewhere called Still Up. It's about two people who can't sleep. They've both got insomnia, and because they've got insomnia, they like to FaceTime each other and just be like friends. And it's really romantic and cute. And if you want to watch something cute like that, and it's like British comedy, it's funny. I would suggest that. It's a this guy. I can't remember his name, but he's been on TV since I was young. He was on. There's this show called Young Dracula. He was on that, and he was on the Tracy Beaker Adventures. So that's my recommendation for today. If you want to check that out, love that show. Yeah, and all episodes came out. You know those little cute shows. It's one of
Mm.
those. It's like they met at first. Then he ended up something happened to him, and he ended up being diagnosed with agoraphobia, so he never left the house. But then they've got so and he also has insomnia, so I think that also happened because of the incident. And then like they just become you just get to see their relationship, and then like the woman, she's in a relationship with this man that she's really not compatible with, and like she met him, and like in the first episode it's like, oh, they have like 30% compatibility, and then she signs up her friend, the guy with agoraphobia, to sign up to the dating app, and they match, and they've got like 95% compatibility, but then she exits out of it or something like that, so like he doesn't find out, or he doesn't say anything for a while. But then it's like the progression of their relationship. Like they're both batshit crazy, and it's just so cute. If you like, um, something. I'm trying to say this in a way that won't have people side eye me. But if you like, what's her name, Tamara, Tamara. If you have the spirit of Tamara, so if you like, if you're a black woman who likes white men, and like if you're like, oh my gosh, okay, this is where it's going a bit crazy. If you like storylines where it's like black women, white men content, like interracial, like that if that's your shtick. See, I'm here for everybody, but like that is a really good show. Like, yeah. That was a very long-winded way of just being like, yeah, she's a black woman, he's a white man. Yeah, because people like that stuff. I like that stuff. Like, if it's cute, it's cute. Like, yeah.
We'll support
Have
you.
you
If
got
that's
any
what
like?
you want,
Hmm?
we'll support you.
Pardon?
If that's what you want for your life, we'll support you.
Yeah, exactly. If that's what you want, if you know what you want, then that's cool, isn't it? If Have you got any like recommendations of any K dramas other than Crash Landing on You?
What have I watched? Oh, I haven't really watched anything in a while.
We've
Um,
been busy camping.
I've watched. What I'm watching now currently is called Cold Blooded Intern. And it's essentially about this lady who had this like really good job,
Mhm.
you know like a manager and whatever, and then she decides to leave this job, to go. Well, she basically like becomes pregnant and decides to leave the job to go take care of a kid, of a child,
Mhm.
and then 7 years passes and the child is now a teenager, and she decides she wants to go back to work, but she needs to go back to work like as an intern. So she went from this like really high like managerial position to being an intern. um
Mhm.
in like this corporate world, and then you basically like just see like her progression, like how she gets back into it, like how she's able to like advise other mothers, and but it's super cool. Like I haven't finished the show yet, but like it's a cool show.
I just googled it. Yeah, it's cold-blooded intern. I might put it in the show notes. I might put that and still up in the show notes if anybody wants to check that out. This is like the shortest amount of time that we've talked, but we usually have guests, so
Mm.
when we had guests, it would be like 4 hours long.
Literally like 4 hours on Sunday.
Yeah, what would we be like? We'd be like signaling to each other, being like, oh, "When? How are we gonna end this? How are we gonna end this?" Because it was like it wasn't that like we hated talking to people. It was just that it was going on for 4 hours, 4 hours, and that isn't
Their side of the
it's not
world,
ideal.
their side of the
Yeah,
world is like afternoon, but like my side of the world, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I really
yeah,
needed to sleep.
exactly. Oh, you know what else I would like to recommend? I don't. I think I recommended it to you, but it's a black woman show and it's on NBC. It's called Found. If Freema got the right writers, like to write a black woman, it would be
Mm.
that. But it's a completely different show. It's about finding missing people. This black woman who's found missing people, and there's like a flashback to her like 20 years ago when this man had kidnapped her because she had to escape, and it's just so amazing. The layers to it, like I feel like this is in the she actually captures it's in the first episode, it's in the first episode trailer, but she captures the man who kidnapped her and has him like helping her
Oh
find
wow.
these missing people, and it's like it's so cool. There's so many layers, and like every character is cool. Like even on this show, there's someone who's agoraphobic as well, and there's this woman whose son's still missing, and they all work together to find missing people. Like being everybody who works with her, except for this cop who is her love interest, and they're actually kind of cute. Um, even though he is a policeman, she um everybody has been like kidnapped or knows someone who's kidnapped, and it's a really good storyline. If you're looking for a show, even though it's American, I know you're all about your K dramas. Found is definitely the one that you should be watching. And then, but also, like Ayana and Tasha, there and everybody else is like shipping the main character, her name's Gabby, with
Mm.
with the guy who she's kidnapped, who kidnapped her 20 years ago. His name's Sir. So they're really like shipping her, and it's like one of those dark ships. And like for me, it's like I'm watching the show and I'm like, I want her with the policeman because they're cute too, and they actually stand a chance of being endgame. And I'm just like, this man, the kidnapper, he's actually wanted for all the kidnapping that he's doing, and I'm pretty sure what she's doing is illegal too. Like, there's no. I'm here in my brain can't. When your brain is like, this just won't run. It can't happen. Like, there's no way that this ends well, and I just can't sit here and be like, yes, I ship that. But I do think they had some cute moments. Like, there was a moment where she literally, he's in the basement, and then she's upstairs, and he's what happens she's literally tearing everything apart because she's really angry, and there's this moment and he's like shouting her name, trying to get her to calm down even though she can't hear him, and it's like, that's cute, but that's still the man who kidnapped her 20 years ago as a child to act like like his child. So there's a bit,
Oh wow.
it's still a bit, it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. But if you're looking for something, I'm trying to get more people to watch. My nan absolutely loves it. Yeah. my my nan's Jamaican, and so she said to I can't even do the patter properly, but she said to my cousin, "What's that name of that show there?" That she said to oh my days, everybody who's Jamaican that she's gonna count be like, that is terrible, but everybody's gonna be. But she really loves it, and like even my auntie, she was like, "Oh, has a new episode of Fan come out?" Like, it's the show. I haven't introduced it to my mom yet, but I will eventually. She's always at work, so I can never like be like, "Oh, you should watch this," because you know how it's not out in England yet. So yeah. Thanks for joining me, Jadé. It's been my pleasure to have you on the show. It's been honestly, you're gonna have to start watching more TV so you can come on again. Because I just like this is just a conversation, and this is what I want the show to be, like a conversation between friends about TV and stuff like that. And thanks for coming, and thanks for everybody who's listening, and thanks to me for editing this, because I'm about to edit this and it's going to be an absolute shit show. But yeah, thanks everybody, and have a great week, and bye.